Visualization. It may sound like psychobabble at first, but visualization is certainly not just for elite athletes. The idea is that by mentally imagining doing an action, we can train our bodies to carry out that action without actually moving or completing it for real. Therefore, a thought alone can produce a physical response. An example of this that we can all experience is imagining sucking on a slice of lemon. When we do, we get a rush of saliva to the mouth, yet there is not a real lemon in sight. Our minds have just induced a physical response to the thought. Visualization is the most powerful tool we can ever develop because often we cannot replicate an actual situation in order to practice surviving. However, if we can use our minds to rehearse mentally how we will respond, our minds and bodies will be trained and automatically know what to do if and when the situation arises. I spent time before, and even more time during my row across the Atlantic, doing mental risk assessments of all the things that could go wrong and be potentially fatal. Running these quote-unquote movies in my head allowed me to rehearse life-threatening situations such as fixing the water maker in a big storm or surviving a collision with a whale, in which the key was to respond positively and correctly. Practicing the physical response to a threatening situation without fail every time I visualized it meant that I did not even have to think about what to do when such a situation really arose. My body instinctively seemed to know exactly what to do. Visualization increased the speed of my reactions and provided me with an effective response. It sounds extreme, but this type of mental exercise should be practiced every time we face a new challenge, likely to test our wits. We then gain confidence from knowing that, should the worst case scenario arise, we can rely upon our instincts and inner strength to assist us. Not only can visualization help us achieve the right physical response, it is also incredibly powerful for eliminating fear. Let's face it, any survival situation is likely to be terrifying. But if we can remain calm, we are likely to be able to analyze, prioritize, and plan a response amid the chaos and confusion. When visualization is used in this way, it is like watching a scary movie for the second time. The first time you put the DVD in the machine and press play, you find yourself jumping at the scary bits. Because you don't quite know when they are going to happen. But when you put the DVD in for a second viewing and press play, you don't jump when you get to the scary bits because you have seen it all before and know that it is coming. We often feel fear because we don't know what is going to happen next. But if we can visualize some of the possibilities by running our own movies in our heads, we can eliminate some of the fear. We simply press play when the situation arises. A positive mental attitude and ability to dig deep for inner strength are key to survival as well as being able to adapt. If a fire broke out in your home, would you know how to get everyone out safely? Using visualization to help you to anticipate escape scenarios will enable you to cope that much better in a live situation. The power of visualization. Perhaps one of the most powerful ways to use visualization is as a means of developing that internal optimism and hardness of human spirit that is so vital for survival. It is also possibly the simplest form of visualization to develop. For all you really need to do is visualize that one thing that is worth living for, and direct all your thought towards this, shutting out fear and worry. We all have something to live for, something we love more than anything else. Maybe it would be to hold on to your child again, drive your car, watch your favorite football team win a home game. Whatever it may be, you just have to visualize it using every sense in your body and imagine how amazing it will feel to do that again. For me, it was the moment when I was finally going to row into a marina on the other side of the Atlantic and see all my friends and family waiting there to greet me. I used to imagine it in so much detail, using every sense in my armory. I could see myself walking up to my mom and giving her a huge hug. I would imagine her familiar smell. Then I would say to my twin sister and what she would say to me. And I would imagine seeing my brother in those scruffy shoes that he always wears. It used to take me an hour to imagine that moment, though in reality it was only going to last a few minutes. When I was lonely, scared, or in pain, it made the time go faster and it stopped me from giving up. Choose your attitude. The one element common to many of the scenarios in this book is that we don't have a choice about being in these life-threatening situations. We can attempt to avoid them, but some are unavoidable. For example, we have little choice about being involved in a kidnap, a terrorist attack, or a natural disaster. Often the situation will be totally out of our control. If this is the case, then it is vital to be able to recognize those things that you do have a choice about, rather than wasting time and energy worrying about those things that you have no control over. You may not be able to change the situation, but you can always change the way in which you are responding to it. You can always choose your attitude.